Judge Amon's chambers.
Yes, thank you so much for taking my call. To whom am I speaking, please?
This is Ian.
Ian, fabulous. Are you a law clerk?
Yes.
Oh, great. This is really wonderful. Ian, thank you so much for taking my call. I tried to resolve this with just a few minutes ago with Judge Scallon's law clerks, and I regret to report that they're not helpful. Now, here's the problem that I'm having. I'm a pro se litigant, and I'm suing now in federal court, and I don't have to litigate anymore because I regret to report that my documents have been tampered with in your court. So I've been trying to, I didn't even know about this for, I don't know, about a year. And the little game that was played was that I submitted medical records. These are not medical records, they're wholesale fraud. So I submitted them as examples of fraud because I was doing my due diligence. And they were tampered with so that behind my back, these false records could be shown to Judge Chen, for example, and then a lie could be told. And I know I'll give a quote from one of the false medical records. Quote, as per Stacy, patient has been mailing threatening letters to Judge Rodriguez, end quote. Okay, so this was used histrionically to try to say that I'm dangerous to judges and I should be barred from courts. There are no threatening letters from me to Judge Rodriguez. There are no threatening letters that I mailed. This is absolutely a false record that was created by a criminal over at a hospital. And so I'm submitting this as Exhibit B. I write wholesale fraud. This is an example of a false statement, an intentionally false statement. And I find that I was asked by the pro se office not to submit my documents in bound form, to submit them unbound so that they could go through the scanner and be put on your electronic system. And I was told, do not put tabs on anything because we'll have to cut the tabs off and they won't be able to go through the scanner. But if you want to mark something as an exhibit, just write, for example, Exhibit B on it, and we'll know. And draw a little circle about what you want the judge to see and put a little arrow and write a little note so the judge will know. So I did all that, and I found that my documents were tampered with. I think I've got something over 30 examples. So I don't litigate.
Can I ask you, which judge is this? Is it before Judge Ammon, or is this?
Well, I started out in front of John Gleason, then my case was moved to Judge Chen, then I had to have knockdown, drag-out fights with Judge Chen just to release my documents because they were restricted. They didn't want any, I'm being tracked on PACER by law enforcement, and they couldn't see the documents. So then after I had a knockdown, drag-out fight, I'm saying this is, we're fighting, litigation-wise. Judge Chen was removed from my case. Now I have Judge Ross, and Judge Ammon knows that I've been asking Judge Ross to take judicial notice of irrefutable facts, and they just ignore it. When some of these irrefutable facts are, for example, Dan Rozelle is an attorney who's lying in court. And, I keep asking for, please take judicial notice of this, please take judicial notice of that. I'm not getting my hearings. They're not obeying their own rules. I mean, I've got my medical school that I'm litigating against stipulated to fraud in my case. This is nothing I have to prove. It's a stipulation. And then I provided Judge Ross with, wait, I'm almost done, with the case law that shows that once the school stipulates to fraud, I should get all my money back. But none of the judges are giving me, giving me an order to refund my money. So unfortunately, Judge Scallon and Judge Ross and Judge Ammon has been kept informed, and so has John Gleason, that when I asked the judges to take, judicial notice of irrefutable facts like a stipulation, and I provide them with the case law that says, please refund my money. The school has stipulated to fraudulently inducing me into enrolling in the school. They ignore me. Okay, so, not only do I have documents that have been tampered with, but now I have judges who are not...
I guess I'm just asking what, since your case is before Judge Ross, what are you...
Well, she can't handle my case. I mean, you're going to have to reassign my case to another judge. In fact, at this point, I should just get a ruling in my favor with prejudice. I've got Judge Ross. I don't know what kind of games are being played in this court, but I got Judge Ross, Judge Scanlon, Judge Amon, I mean, I write on my papers, please take judicial notice of the following irrefutable facts. I would like an open public hearing. An open public hearing is mandatory once I ask the judges to take judicial notice. They just ignore me and railroad over it. So you're denying me my Fifth Amendment constitutionally protected right to due process. You're breaking your own rules. You have no jurisdiction. There's no power here when you break, the power comes from the people in the Constitution. When you violate my constitutionally protected rights.
I guess I'm just wondering what you would like us to do about it, why you're calling this chambers.
Well, I'm going to be what does the judge do when she's responsible for overseeing the court, and she's got judges who have no jurisdiction? They have no power to enforce. I have no obligation to obey. My case should be dismissed in my favor with prejudice, pending a hearing to find out what kind of damages I'm going to get for this. You got judges who are, Judge Ross has been on the bench over 20 years. She's not stupid. She's well informed. She took an oath to uphold the Constitution. She just violated my rights. She broke. I don't have to explain the Federal Rules of Evidence to her. Why am I litigating this thing? I mean, and on top of that, I got Dan Rozelle from my medical school lying wholesale in court. They have all the documents. I've brought it to their attention. I mean, my medical school went into court in 2006, swore on a stack of Bibles that I failed all my classes as a first-year medical student except for one, and then 4 years later they had to admit that they lied, and now they're lying again in court. Why are you people abusing me like this? This has got to stop.
Well, I just, again, if your case is before Judge Ross, I don't know what exactly you want us to do about it.
Well, you are a court officer, and Judge Amon is responsible for she's the chief judge. She's responsible for when Judge Ross and Judge Scanlon are making rulings and they have no jurisdiction.
Okay. I'm not really sure what we can do to help, because I don't really understand what it is you're asking us to do.
Reassign my case.
Okay, so that's.
I don't even know why I'm litigating this thing. I should have an immediate ruling in my favor with prejudice for all this that's going on.
I can't speak to that. I don't know. But your request is to reassign your case to a different judge.
You're going to have to, yeah.
Okay, what is your name again?
My last name is Radin, R-A-D-I-N.
And what's your case number?
Hang on for just one second. You think I'd have it memorized by this point, huh? It's 12 CV 1393, but let me just double check.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to also have to give you an affidavit from folks who came down to court. We discussed this with the marshals too, that my documents were tampered with. That's a crime. These are federal crimes that are occurring. You just can't ignore them. Hang on I'm sorry, that's an ambulance going by. Yeah, it's 12 CV 1393.
Okay. Well, let me look into what's done about that, and then yeah, I guess. I'm being informed by my colleague here that the correct thing to do is to submit a letter to Judge Amon requesting reassignment.
Yeah, I'll do that, and I'm also going to be putting in, more requests for judicial notice, and then we can watch the judges, break their own rules, which means they're violating their oath to uphold the Constitution. They're violating my constitutionally protected right to due process, which means they have no jurisdiction. Once they step out of jurisdiction, they obligate themselves to me personally for the harm that they've inflicted on me. They have no power to enforce. I have no obligation to obey. They're engaged in.
This is something you have to put in a letter, because I can't really help you over the phone.
Okay, and just tell me, you're Ian again?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So I will be doing that, and I'll be backing it up with an affidavit from one of 5 witnesses who came with me with regard to the evidence tampering.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.